Hi, I'm Shannon and welcome to another episode of Shannon Do the Talking. For today's episode, we will be talking about utility. Do you have any idea about it? Let's make it simple. Utility is when you can derive some amount of satisfaction. It is a very subjective and not quantifiable, and the unit for utility is utils. Marginal utility, on the other hand, is about how much satisfaction we derive for consuming 1 unit of every good, while the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as we go on consuming more of one good, the total utility increases but the marginal utility decreases from every additional unit. And by this, we try to choose a combination of two different goods based on the utility maximization, assuming those two goods are represented as x and y, and the prices of each should be px and py. This comes with a formula of px times x plus py times y to get a total monetary income, which is represented as the capital M. This is further called as the equation of the budget constraint or the budget line. When it is graphically presented, it is a graph of straight line consisting of both x and y. That is what we call the consumption bundle. Consumption bundle of an individual should always lie within the budget line. In the said formula, we can have 2 to 3 variables, and this is about how does the budget line get affected because of changes in price of goods or due to the change in monetary income. For change in price of commodity, we have the first one, which is when the price of commodity X increases, the budget line swings in along the x-axis. When the price of commodity decreases, the budget line swings outward along the x-axis. And same goes with the price of commodity Y. When the price of commodity Y increases, the consumption of the good Y decreases, and the budget line swings in along the y-axis. When the price of commodity Y decreases, the consumption of good Y increases, and the budget line swings outward along the y-axis. Whenever there is an increase in the price of such commodity, the budget line will always swing inside along the axis where you are measuring that particular commodity. For a change in income, we have two scenarios. The first one is monetary income has gone up. In this, we tend to consume more of normal goods, and the budget line itself shifts outward. When the monetary income has gone down, we tend to consume less of the said goods, and the budget line shifts inward. The ratio of two commodities is basically the slope of the budget line. What if everything changed in the same proportion? There will be no change because everything will cancel each other out and the budget line will not change at all. This next category is about preferences. Here, even when we are constrained by the same income, each one of us have our own different preferences. And this is represented graphically as a curve that is always convex to the origin. And it passes through numerous points, and every point gives the consumer same amount of utility. When the indifference curve lies on the right side of the previous one, the curve is definitely a better one, and the consumer would always prefer that better curve. When the indifference curve is on the left side, the consumer would prefer the indifference curve on its right side because it is the better one. And the slope of the curve we are talking about is what we call the marginal rate of substitution. It is basically the rate at which we substitute between two commodities. When we are gaining certain amount of X, it is okay to give up such amount of Y. And that is the concept of substitution. And when we combine the concept of the budget line and the indifference curve, the ideal for any individual is the indifference curve, which is tangential to the budget line at exactly 1 unit point, and that is where the optimum consumption bundle is. It simply means that the slope of the budget line equates to the slope of indifference curve. I think this topic would help me as a future healthcare worker because with this topic, which is the utility, we will know if our patients in the future attains a maximum satisfaction by the goods and services we offer. And by this, we can even enhance our abilities to acquire those maximum satisfaction of our patients. And that's it! I hope you learned something from me today. Again, I'm Shannon, and this has been another episode of Shannon Do the Talking.